got the bag. Duffy cuffing cash. Duffy slip on swag. Hey, Duffy hold the groovy juice. 44 to the NO. Duffy holding truth. Duffy got the bag. Duffy cuffing cash. Duffy slip on swag. Hey, Duffy hold the groovy juice. 44 to the NO. Duffy holding truth. Sound these hoes, I ain't never did the back and forth. You was never concerned, confused on what you asking for. When I was 18, my mama kitchen was the package store. Rolling past Morgan for the mill on my. Talk, man. Y'all already know the vibes, man. It's the Unpopular Opinion Podcast. Smash that like button, share this, like that thing, man. I'm your host, Grand Hefe, joined by my co-host, Dano the Don, Nova Freeman. What's going on with y'all boys?
Yata, you know what it is.
Living the dream, baby. Living the dream.
Hey, man. Hey, aren't we all right to be able to sit here, talk about whatever it is we want to talk about? We got a good show for y'all today. Before we get started, though, make sure y'all continue down the podcast, Real Unpopular Opinion Podcast on Apple Music, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, Stitcher, however you download your podcast digitally. We on YouTube at Real Unpopular Opinion Podcast. It's Real Unpopular Opinion Podcast on YouTube. IG Unpopular Opinion _ podcast should be ticking down to the bottom there. And tonight, man, we on Twitch. We on Twitch as well. Real _ Unpopular _ Opinion Podcast.
Okay.
What time it is? Hey, man. Let's get into it though, man. Lil Marlo, rapper out of Atlanta. He was signed to QC label. If y'all don't QC, obviously they got a Quavo, they got the Migos, City Girls, Cardi B. You know, they got some of everybody on that label. But rapper Lil Marlo, 27 years old, shot dead in his car late last night, this morning on the interstate, man. I want to kick it to you first, Nova. Why are we seeing so many of these rappers just dying, like so young at that? Like what do you think is the leading cause? What contributes to this?
Yeah, I mean, the easy thing to say is rappers want to live the lifestyle that they preach, right? Or that they talk about or they live by, right? But I honestly, me personally, I think it's the lifestyle, you know. It's the money, it's the girls, it's the drugs. You know what I'm saying? If people get caught up, or yo, like what I'm gonna say, most people shouldn't be saying, but like the music industry is a very expensive industry, very expensive industry, very lavish industry, and people got to keep up with these things. And for them to be able to do these things, people got to do illegal things. People got to sell drugs. People got to steal cars. People got to do whatever it they have to make ends meet, and they still are doing these things without people knowing. People don't know what these people do on a day to day, but just know that their music streams or you streaming their music ain't paying their bills. So I'm gonna just leave it at that, and you decide, you know.
Dano, why? I'm gonna ask you a different question. Why do you think, to what he was saying, why do you think these dudes, because we talked about it on the last show as well, why do you think these people, or why do you think these guys get all this money, they get all this fame, and they still feel the need to do what they used to do when they was nobodies? Like, you got all this money, you can do anything you want in the world, but you still out here on the block. You still out here posting your location, showing people that you hard. Why? Like, why do our people need to do that?
I feel like everybody get ready. Nah, I feel like personally, we have to do what that stereotype of us that was created is. We have to continue to live this lifestyle, because if not, then people think that you changed up, as they would say. You turn fake, you turn weak. And then if you do that, then that's your career that's your career at the end of the day. So it's not just doing it for cool points for likes or anymore. It's actually for your livelihood, for your family. So you have to uphold, I guess, that standard of what they want the
But
rapper
do
to
we
be.
really though? Do we really have to uphold that? Like who says that you have to uphold that? Like who?
I feel like personally, I feel like the contracts that the artists sign, depending on how big or small they are. If you get a contract, there's a lot of things in the contract stating you're pretty much an image that at that point you're pretty much an image. You're not your own artist anymore. You're an image that they see you as, and I feel like you have to have that circle. I don't fucking know how to say what I'm saying.
What Daniel not going to say is your big homie. You got to answer to your big homie.
Yeah, so they're telling you who you are, and that's 100 what it is. That's
And
100
it's
what it is.
crazy. And it's crazy because it's like the modern day, like.
Hey, y'all go ahead and hold it down. Let me fix my green screen. Y'all go ahead and hold it down.
Go ahead. But the modern day like game isn't operated like it used to be. Like people are very strategic. People are hip to going nowadays. So the OG, the OG, the OG probably gonna look like that artist's manager now. That OG is probably gonna look like that artist's PR agent.
That's what I wanted y'all to get to, man. You know what I'm saying? This Unpopular Opinion podcast. We ain't holding nothing back here. That's what I wanted y'all to get to. Like I already knew what it was, you know. Hey, that's what we here for. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? We don't hold it back on here. It's and I feel that it's the OGs. Like you still got like I seen King Von. King Von did a video where he went, you know, he did a video. He went back to his hood and he gave everybody them racks. And most people be like, that's stupid. Well, boy, let me tell you something. You know what I'm saying? You get all big time and you forget about the people that you was down there with. Well, they gonna eat you. You know what I'm saying? If you don't feed them, they will turn on you if you don't feed them boys. And I think that's really what it is, man. And that's what it comes down to. That, you know, no matter how big you get, you still from somewhere, and they still want theirs for sure.
Best believe.
At the end of the day, if it was that simple, I think they would stay away, obviously, because anybody would. But there's more to it. There's a lot, like Noah said, there's a lot more to it, and there's a lot of things that can't be said because there's lives on the line and livelihoods, simply put.
Shit is sophisticated, man.
It really. Go ahead.
Lives and livelihoods. I said lives and livelihoods. So not just the job, but sometimes their life. But that's a whole nother story.
No, we can get to that. You know what I'm saying? We can get to that a little bit later in the show because I got something else for you later in the show that's going to kind of tie into that. But yesterday on Friday, my bad, we talked about Naya Rivera, the actress that I mentioned that her son was found dead. That was incorrect. I read the report wrong. Her son was found floating on the boat alone. He is alive. They are still trying to find her. They have not found where she's at. They released underwater footage. They're supposed to be trying to check in cabins. But it just seems like she's really nowhere to be found, man. And it's sad. You know, we talked about that yesterday along with all of these kids that are missing, or all these kids that's getting trafficked through all these websites. And the fact that they can't find her, man, I think is more to it. But Naya Rivera has not been found. Let's move on from there. I don't want to get too far. I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole. Coming up later in the show, we got Nova Star today. Also, Daniel Clown that he found. Make sure you guys stick around for that. on to something a little less sensitive here. There was a senator that had texted Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN. You guys don't know who Woj is. Woj is he's one of the best to do it at ESPN. Breaking stories, you need anything done, that's Woj. So a senator out of where was he from? He was from his name is Senator Josh Hawley. He texted Woj an email since the NBA, obviously we reported on before that they're going to put statement of justices on the back of the jerseys, that you're allowed to do that. So he tweeted out ESPN and asked, how about they start supporting China, or how about they start supporting the president? And Woj just simply said, fuck you. And he's been suspended by ESPN for 1 to 2 weeks. He was actually #1 trending yesterday on Twitter. So I asked, because I think this is a bigger issue. And I'm gonna go to you first, Dano. The fact that the NBA was willing to say we're gonna allow certain statements of justice on the back of the jersey, and then for the senator to come out and say, well, you guys should support the president. I mean the police officer. Do you think this is something like All Lives Matter in retrospect to Black Lives Matter?
I think in this sense, yes, I think it definitely could be. I think there is some sense of just not acceptance of the whole, what the movement really stands for, not for what it has become, but what it really stands for. I feel like, personally, I feel like maybe he might have some kind of bigoted views. I don't know.
No, what you think? And do you think that ESPN should have even suspended him in the first place?
I'm gonna tell you why they suspended him. They suspended him because of the derogatory language he used in the email. And honestly, like, if anybody knows in the corporate world, don't do that via email. But I felt like I feel like, honestly, like, in my opinion, I agree with him. But it's better.
I do too, honestly. I do too.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe things shouldn't be taken so seriously. But my thing is, Woj being who Woj is, it's like it's just a big deal because. But my thing is, we act like we don't. This is Woj, like, you know, like he's a prick. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's my thing as well.
Like I feel like they're controlling the narrative in the sense, like, okay, we're policing our staff, our employee, when it's like, no, like, let's have that conversation, or like simply like, why are we even having this conversation via email over our work email? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think it's more the way he was coming from. You know what I'm saying? But nobody wants to have those conversations. People just want to police things up and sweep it under the rug. But you got things like Twitter nowadays, so. You know?
Yeah, man. I don't think it should have been suspended, but I get it. It's in the corporate world. When you and then I guess it was who he said it to. To make it on top of that, who he said it to. I think that was another thing or another reason why they would you just can't do that, I guess. But for him just saying like fuck you, like I don't know if that's suspension worthy. Like who is this guy that you can't, I guess cuss out? I don't get it when you was in my inbox. Like that don't make any sense. But for ESPN, I guess they have to cover their behinds because they do
period.
Yeah, all of this political stuff and all of that, they was behind Donald Trump when he was talking about the flag and all this other stuff. So they got to be politically correct. They suspended Jamil Hill for reasons similar to this, for speaking out. So it doesn't surprise me that they did it, but it is Woj, and it's like y'all did this to Woj. Like that's crazy to me.
they did it to the black female. I forgot her name. She was on Get Up, I think, at first, right?
No, that was Jamil Hill.
That oh, it was the guy.
Yeah, they used to be with Michael Smith.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Jamil Hill. So it's like I guess I kind of expect for that to happen, but to a senator, she was talking about the president. I guess they had to do what they had to do, but he just said this to a senator. I don't really see a big deal. Shot Glizzy and Lil Uzi though, I guess they had a little spit spat. Shot Glizzy mad because they wanted him to pay for a verse. Shot Glizzy said, "I ain't never paid for no verse in my life. I ain't gonna never pay for no verse." Supposedly he sent Uzi some messages. Uzi ain't hit him back. So he started the Adam on Instagram, saying you ain't seen my messages. You want to act like a little, like a little hoe.
A little beat.
I'm gonna show out for you. And who you think is in the wrong here, man? Do you feel like Shot Glizzy should have went that hard at Uzi for something that was probably the label, that was probably the label idea of doing it. Do you think he should have went at Uzi that hard, Nova?
I mean, again, like we talking about artists here, and then somebody like him, of course, he's doing it for attention. But I mean, it's funny because I'm thinking about earlier in the year when I said Lil, all these rappers named Lil something. But,
yeah, everybody loves somebody.
He had came at somebody. I forget. It's escaping my head right now. But either way, Young Thug has spoke out against somebody who was like, "Yo, like, why are you in my business?" Type, like, "Yo, like, I don't have to pick up the phone every time you call." You know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, it's like, "Yo, you're a grown man. Like, move on." You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all same industry, y'all gonna cross paths some way, somehow. Like, move on. If the man don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're a grown man, bro. Why you crying online about another man not being able to, like? And I don't mean to seem derogative like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's just
But I think it's weak though. I think that's weak, honestly, because when you think about it,
really weak as a person. Like,
yeah, bro, because when you think about it, it's not like Uzi the one charging you really for the verse. Really, I mean, he is, but he also got to pay a label. He also got to do this. He also got to do that. And you think that I'm just gonna be giving out free verses, or the label just gonna keep letting you, keep letting me give out free verses? No, it don't even work like that.
You mad because this man know his worth?
Bro, yeah, bro. Like, talking about you ain't never paid for a feature. Who is you really talking about not even paying for a feature in the first place? Yeah, Hefe home, like that's my dog, but you ain't at that status yet. Dan, what you think?
I don't think anybody should ever trip when someone charges them for a feature. I feel like everybody in the community should accept whenever anybody else does charge them, because we're supporting each other. It's a bigger thing than just ourselves. And I feel like anytime somebody do get mad about something like that, it shows they're a selfish person. And I understand that the intentions might not always be bad, but I feel like that's selfish. I know if it was like they homeboy, and then they were still chilling every day, and like you just chilling in the studio together and y'all just make a song, that's cool. But it's a business. Rap is a business just like anything else. And a lot of people don't think about it.
These rappers ain't that creative, so they they need somebody like a Lil Uzi, or just
insert big name artist here.
Right, any artist with a platform, like any artist with a platform is going to charge you because they understand they have a platform and they know the numbers that they can pull in for you, or what they can possibly do if the song is really that good. Like, so my thing is like, you know this though, like you know this.
Yeah, I don't, man. It's wild. Then you talking about, I ain't never paid for no verse, and you ain't hit me back, and I know you see my messages, and it's like, dog, like, oh, you think I'm supposed to like, oh, you think I'm just supposed to drop everything that takes you?
And then he took the social media, and you look really weak, bro.
And you know they always say I ain't no social media person, but yeah, well, if you ain't a social media person, why you doing it for social media? That's what y'all all say. Oh, I ain't even no social media person. As they
That's
on
100.
social media talking about it.
That's 100. That's 100.
You know, as they on social media
Yo,
talking.
that's what I was about. It's always somebody on social media saying, "I'm not a social media nigga." Like,
take that same energy and actually make a track, like, you know what I'm saying? But you're not that creative, obviously.
yeah, exactly.
Obviously. But we got another segment before we get to Nova's start of the day. Dano, I want you to tell the people. You said something interesting before in the pre-show about you're starting to believe or you're starting to understand who now?
Trump?
No. Terry Crews.
Oh, okay. I was
Explain your
talking about
point.
the Great White Hope.
Explain your point.
The Great White Hope. No,
Explain
okay.
your point.
I'm gonna say at first I didn't really understand where Terry Crews is coming from. So I want to send my condolences to Terry Crews. I'm sending this to you, brother. You probably will never see this, but shit. I remember in the other video I was talking shit, but then I furthermore looked in what he was actually saying, and I just understand what he was actually saying was that he just thinks we got to work together to get to that equal place. But the reason I got to this conclusion, how I got to his hill, as he would say, I was watching the interview with what did I say his name was? What's that dude name? The Lemon dude?
No, Don Lennon.
Don Lennon. And they
Yeah.
were talking about Terry Crews was talking about Black lives dying and other matters and shit. And he was just saying that matters as well. But then that other dude, I don't remember people's names, but that guy was saying that, well, it's not even about that with Black Lives Matter. It's just about the criminal aspect of it. And I feel like the Black lives should matter in the whole. Like we should care about our community in a whole. It goes down to Planned Parenthood, like we've spoke on before. It goes to how we are in our own neighborhoods. It goes down to everything, and I feel like that's where he's coming from, and I understand that. And I agree with that.
What you think about what he's talking about, Nova?
I mean, I see exactly where you're coming from. Like, yeah, I mean, it definitely sound to be on the board, to make things happen. Period. But I mean, that's just not how things are in America, and we know that. So we have to break off into to groups and figure it out, man. I think that's the best way right now. But that's just my opinion.
I don't feel none of that, honestly. I don't feel what Terry Crews was saying at all, bro. Just because I don't feel none of that, because he come out talking about, without white people, without the help of white people, then it'll become black supremacy and this and that. And I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Nobody's talking about taking over anything. Nobody's talking about wiping out the whole white Caucasian race. Like nobody's talking about that. So like, what are you talking about? What specifically are you talking about? And it's like, for me, dog, like just shut up, because every time you say something, it's like it's ignorant, bro, and it's stupid.
All right. Let me ask you, bro. Let me ask you something real quick. You know those videos where the white dudes were like on their knees and they're kissing the black people's feet and shit? Have you seen those videos? I know somebody saw these videos. They're out there everywhere.
What's the context of them?
No, they're literally just kissing black people's feet. Like a lot of churches are having. Okay, well, anyway, this is the context. Churches of white people are going out and kissing black people's shoes. What do you think about that?
Why?
I know that's in the Bible. I mean,
no, but I'm more of on no side. Why? Why?
Well, I don't. I mean, me. I get that. Why? But I'm saying, like, what you mean? Like, what do I think about it? Like, I don't think anything of it. Like, I don't care. Like,
I was waiting for.
yeah, hey, I don't care, dog. Like,
Never mind, bro. Never mind.
no, talk to me. What's your point? Like,
Okay. Simply, now, if white people are kissing black people's shoes, who is supreme in that moment?
Of course. I mean, but like,
okay.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where you're going. I don't really get where you're going,
bro. You're that, bro. That is okay. That I don't know how to say it more than that's not understanding where people are coming from. That's just submitting. That's different, bro. I don't know how to explain it any more than that. Because when I think about someone bowing down to somebody, that's I feel like that's what he may have been
So
referring
he was referring to the 16 pictures that's probably online.
bro, it happened a lot, bro.
And that's what he was talking about. Because that's not happening like all over. It's not like a pandemic of white people kissing black people.
It's
like that's not.
It's deeper than just that, bro. Bro, you can tell how white people are acting right now, bro. It's the liber. I'm all stuck, bro, because
help him out, bro. What are he talking about?
He don't know what I'm talking about.
What is he talking about, man? Help him out, cause I don't get what you're trying to say. Like I don't understand. Like what's
equality? He don't want anybody kissing each other's shoes. He wants them shaking hands. I guess that's the simplest way I could put it. It's hard to understand.
But how can he make that assumption just all based off a few incidents of something happening?
Well, I don't know what he's exactly resorting to. That's what I'm making an example of where I could see it clearly, because that's the most clear way to see it. If someone's kissing someone else's shoe, that's totally, I don't know, bro. It's just a lot.
I mean, I feel like where he's coming from, it's like, yeah, like nobody should be submitting to anybody. You know,
I feel like people should be standing together, not one person on the knees, and it's like we're not equal. It's just gonna end up having this seesaw.
No, we're not equal. We've already seen that we're not
equal, because this is nothing that's ever happened before. Black people haven't been getting their shoes kissed by white people before, so it's hard to explain this paradigm.
So what you're saying is now it's gonna be a pandemic of white people kissing black people foot, like that's the new thing.
Bro, it's the kissing the feet thing isn't what's serious. That's just an example that clearly shows what I'm talking about. Another example is the like when white people go extra and they act like they know what it is to be black, and then you don't know, you haven't seen. I have a video right now on my phone about a white lady yelling at 3 black police officers and yelling at them saying, "You don't know what it is to be black," and she's a white lady. What I'm saying is, it becomes a thing where instead of being a victim, the only way not to be a victim is to say you understand and perpetuate that you understand, even if you really don't. And that's what's going to keep going on. That's why there's a lot of white people in the riots breaking windows and shit. That's why a lot of our peaceful protests are fucking up and turning into riots, because there's white people who are like, yeah, I don't really understand, but I'm gonna come and act like I do, and I'm be that motherfucker doing it, and that's just what's going on, bro. And that's how I feel about it. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I mean, I hear you. I do. I just don't understand. For me, when we talk about Terry Crews, why would he need to say what he was saying? Because it's not like black people were saying that.
I think he's seeing the separation. I think he's seeing the same thing everybody's saying about the Black Lives Matter isn't a real movement. He's just saying it in a different way.
The organization itself, no, but we're not talking about the organization,
saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. I think he's expressing. That's what I think he was really trying to express the whole time. That's why when you look at more of his tweets after that, and you look at his real pretense, he's just saying we all need to come together. The Black Lives Matter movement is the movement. really for us.
Listen,
It's really
bro.
to separate us. If you think about it,
Why
the Democratic
does he
Black
need to say
Lives
that
Matter. This
to
is the
black
way I
people?
look at it. There's a Democratic Black Lives Matter, and there's Black people Black Lives Matter. The Democratic Black Lives Matter only separates us, and that's literally all it does. It puts out things that are making us hate each other more
So
and more,
Nova,
and that race that's
let me
deep in
ask you this,
motherfuckers.
Nova.
It's coming out now, and I don't know if people want that or not, but that's what's going on. I feel like in our society.
Let me ask you this, Nova. Why do you think that Terry Crews needed to say that to black people, as if black people haven't been trying to mix anyways? It's not like we're the ones that's trying to push white people out of the way. You know, it's been the opposite. It's the total opposite. Black people has been trying to be equal while most of the time systematically been kept down. So why does Terry Crews feel he need to say that to black people and not say that to white people? No, why you what like I don't understand. I don't understand the point of him saying it to black people as if we were trying to be the ones to separate ourselves.
But because I don't think we took it the right way. I don't think we took it the right way initially.
Whitewash. You know that.
I do believe that. I do believe that in a big extent. I believe that though. I believe it, but I don't think he's whitewashed enough to become racist toward his own people. I do believe he's whitewashed
If
a
you
lot.
listen to his first tweet, bro, when he first made headlines, he's talking about everybody jealous of me.
That's what I'm looking up right now.
Everybody jealous of me because I made it. You know, I'm a black man. I made it out. Like, bro, ain't nobody hating on you. Like, ain't nobody who's hating on you. Who
If you watch your documentary, he went through a lot of shit though. Low key, nigga went through a lot of shit.
I mean, he did, and he got some content that's in syndicate, but I feel like it went to his head. But I'm gonna leave it there. But something did just come through. A quick, I want to update y'all. Rondo suffered a fractured thumb today.
Oh shit!
And will undergo surgery and is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks. So you can expect him to be out of the playoffs.
Damn, that's crazy. I think it may actually help them. I'm not glad that he's hurt. Don't get me wrong, but I think not having Rondo in the lineup could be very beneficial for the Lakers. I think he slows everything down when he's in the lineup. He can't shoot. You can't play him and LeBron together because LeBron got to handle the rock and Rondo can't shoot. So I think not having Rondo. I think not having Rondo is for sure going to help them boys out a lot.
Yeah, that's an interesting take because I actually go ahead, Daniel.
The gist of it all, I'm gonna tell you the answer to this question with Terry Crews. The first thing on his, what color is his wife?
He's white. I mean, she's white.
The first thing on his post is "lover to my wife." So I am sure she's a white woman and she's feeling some type of way.
Nah, yo, that's a great point, bro.
I hate to say it, but
because
think about
he got to go home to that, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like he got to go home to that.
I'm not gonna say he's white, but I'm gonna say he's living in a home where, and he does see his woman pushed him through a lot of shit. That nigga came from not much, but that woman pushed him, so he did experience a good white woman too. So who would he be to just jump on the? And that literally, like, I'll read one of his posts. He said, God damn. I just was reading that bitch. He said, are all white people bad? No. Are all black people good? No. Knowing this reality, I stand on my decision to unite with good people, no matter the race, creed, or ideology. Given the number of threats against this decision, I also decide to die on this hill. Is that racist?
No, but no, it's not racist. But I'm just saying, but that was just one of the tweets in the middle. That's not what set all of this off. Like that's not what started this whole, you know.
This is what I think this is what's hurting our community. Yeah, because this is a problem that we have. This is a problem that we have, and we can't admit it a lot of times. Black people need to hold other black people accountable. Is that wrong?
No, it's not. It's not. What
No.
I feel like going wrong is every black person with money in the platform don't have to say shit. You
I agree
just
with
do.
that as well.
You
No,
just do it, bro. You just do
I,
like yo.
I agree with that more than anything. I
You
agree
don't
with
have
that more than anything.
you don't have to preach your message, bro. Just do like whatever the case. If you feel like white people and black people, like you know what I'm saying, like my bad. If you feel like all white people aren't bad and all black people aren't good, find ways to make that like bring that to light with action. You know what I'm saying? Like bring your words to light. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't see you doing none of that. I just see you just talking. You know, kind of so much, but like on the contrary, Deshaun Jackson, we were just talking about him on the last show. This
Mm.
man
Yeah.
that went signed up for classes. He's like in the community like trying to actually figure out okay, how can I educate myself on how I feel about this subject, and now I could come back and really give an educated response. Like this man isn't. I'm not seeing anything. Like you probably didn't even donate for real. You know.
I
That's
don't know.
true.
Hey, but that don't always have them different opinions. For his boy, his homie that we finna talk to right now. Right after we get to Nova Star today. Who you got?
Say now, so my Nova Star today, man. Shouts to JJ Redick, man. I appreciate you using your voice and your platform the right way. You know, I appreciate you speaking up for our black leaders. I appreciate you just like yo, it's keeping it real. You know, I didn't want to have to say that, but just like yo, keeping it real. Like he really spoke in the interview on ESPN, and he could have been talking about so many other things, but he chose to talk about his experience as a white man in a majority black sport and the things he went through, and of course he experienced racism at a very very young age because of it. You know what I'm saying? And he always used his prestige, if you will, to definitely make change. And
Mhm.
he definitely spoke up on a great point I wanted to bring up, which was Kevin Durant and LeBron James, like how these two phenomenon basketball players are constantly criticized on a daily, hourly basis, especially when it came to the decisions to leave and go to powerhouse teams. And it did nothing but clarify to the NBA commissioner and the league officials that black men couldn't make their own decisions. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
he shed light on that, and he definitely spoke up. So my man JJ, you my Nova Star today. Keep it up, man.
JJ, Duke Blue Devil. I fuck with it. Hey, Dano, tell us about we ain't gonna go Dano Clown right now. We'll get to that a little bit later. Tell me about your man Trump, bro. What you want to tell us about Trump? He be dying to tell us about his homie, bro.
Why? Ho. No, for real. Uh, I want to talk to y'all about. They're thinking about bringing currency back to the Federal Reserve to be run by the Federal Reserve, meaning that it become a gold standard again, meaning our paper becomes value. And a quick lesson on this. Back in the day, our money used to be gold. The gold was in a sense turned into paper IOUs, which we call money now. Now, what they did, well, I said Ronald. Nick, oh my goodness, my stuff is all wrong. See, I got all nervous since it's just me right here.
There you go.
What Nick
We
did
with you,
was
bro.
change
We
the
with you.
gold standard. He changed the gold standard, so they took the gold away, and then we just had the IOUs, and they said, yeah, now that's money. That's what you get now, and then
Mhm.
that's what we've been having all this time. Now Trump is bringing it back, so we have value in our money. But how this is going to affect things is because credit is money that's just made up out of nowhere. Because when you start putting credit on money, then money that doesn't exist in a sense, and that's illegally apprehended money. So they're gonna have to do a whole bunch of things to
So why?
fix these.
Hold on. So why do you think that it's important for us to know that?
I believe it's important for us to know that because the American dollar has been plummeting crazy. The worth of the dollar is becoming nothing because we keep putting credit on money, which is really devaluing our money. And also, we're printing more and more money, and there's just a lot of there's nothing to regulate the paper anymore. So once you put gold out there, there's only so much gold that you can have. So it has a mandate, and it can stick to that. And we don't when you if it was all just about having paper, bro, all you gotta have is paper and a printer, and you can make it infinitely. But that also means there's no control over it, and this puts control over it again. It's not just numbers printed on a piece of paper that's telling you it's worth something. This is something worth something.
And there's your 3 minutes with Dano the Don. Your 3 minutes.
Exactly.
Dano the Don.
And that's why exactly what that comment is saying. Banks are frauds. And that's exactly why they're bringing it back to the Federal Reserve, because the banks are running this scam credit where, okay, a quick rundown on credit. If there's $100 and they charge you $100, I mean for $100 they charge you 10%. Then that $10 is money that don't even exist. We're just not seeing that because there's a whole bunch of money out there, so you don't see the bigger picture. But if only $100 existed and you lent that to somebody and you charge them 10%, then where does that other $10 come from? It's that simple. It's that simple. Don't overanalyze it, because that's where you get lost. And that's why the gold standard will help, because we're all fucked up in this. The loans
I agree. I just wanted you to explain your point. That's why
if you look at as of lately, as the years have gone by, they have outlawed a lot of different loan places, payday loans in different places. So it's been. I feel like it's probably been a setup, because I don't feel like anything is really new in America. I feel like it's already
everything's all recycled. It's all recycled. Just like the culture, just like hairstyles, just like clothing, just like anything, everything is all recycled. But I agree, just like this, it's gonna be recycled. It's not like we haven't had this before. So I agree with what you were saying. Once we got, that's why gold is still to this day one of the most expensive things that you can have. And money is we're always talking about, money is getting devalued. Oh, the dollar ain't worth what it used to be, what it's worth when we was.
Another simple way to look at that too is if you get $1 in gold worth of gold, it would be more than if you go buy $1 in gold. And also understand that, because there's literally two sides of everything going on here. There's a big bank fraud, and you could say a jewelry fraud, but it ain't really a big fraud like that. The banks is the biggest thing actually making money from this. Jewelry companies who own gold also do, but it's much bigger in the bank where they're getting they big old grip. So I don't know. That's my little words of the day. Shit.
Dano, that's your lesson. That's lesson with Dano the Don for the day. Before we get to the 20-year-old activist from out of Morrison, New Jersey, that was found hung in the tree, Dano, clown that you found. Who's on the rock today?
Okay, let me fix this real quick. Clown that I found today. I'm giving it to T.I. I'm giving it to T.I. And I'm giving it to you, bro, because if you was great, you don't have to say it. So T.I. says his name should be mentioned among greats like Jay-Z and Kanye. All right, bro. If you believe so, then everyone else will believe that in themselves. You play your role and see where history leaves you. That's how we should all play it. You can't tell other people how to look at you. You can't tell other people you're a legend. So just be yourself. So That's who's gonna get. You get too mean. Because there's some other shit that Ti did too. Actually, I want to also give him a L for calling David Beckham racist because his insurance company. And this is racist. The insurance company. Now, if you go look back, they used to actually insure the ships that was shipping the slaves and shit. I'm sorry, I'm getting my list. Shipping the slaves and shit. But what I'm thinking is, I don't think David Beckham looked it up that, okay, this is what they did all the way back then. I'm just going to be 100 because when I look up my insurance, I just look up who's the cheapest. But, hey, I ain't rich, so it might be different criteria. But I'm just saying I think he should get an L2 for trying to call out David Beckham.
I'm glad you said that because I'm glad you brought up T.I. because that's an interesting conversation that we can have right now. And Nova, I'm going to kick it to you. Because he also mentioned that his name should be up there with Lil Wayne as well. But Nova, I'm gonna ask you this: he's been challenging 50, the versus battle and all of that other stuff. Who you think would really win that, T.I. or do you think 50? Or do you think T.I. is just out here capping? Bruh. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Bruh. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Bruh.
Don't do that.
Come on. For real. 50. All day.
Who?
50.
50? Man, get out of here.
All day, bro.
Bro, let me tell you something. Bro, T.I. what run circles around 50?
How, bro? He could. His beanie would fall off, bro. His beanie would fall off. His beanie would fall off.
So you were saying. Hold on. So you were saying 50 would kill T.I. 50 would win.
Wax him.
Hey, how about this? For everybody out there that's listening right now, we already talked about adding another day into the podcast. We will be live on Tuesday as well. On Tuesday, I want y'all to bring y'all top 20 songs from 50. I'm going to bring my top 20 from T.I. and we're going to have our battle on Tuesday. And that's going to be the secondary to this podcast right here. Because I know y'all didn't just say 50 got more hits than T.I. Man.
Bro, easy.
Y'all boys tripping, man. Y'all boys
bro, even when I'm looking right here, bro, easy,
bro. Y'all listen. Tuesday, y'all gonna get a chance to go ahead and prove what you gonna say. But I can guarantee you, if they do, that's what.
So I'm on the podcast, bro. Wearing a beanie on the side of your ear, bro. You better have a beanie just on the side of your ear.
You already see me got my shit on the side already. You see me got my shit on the side already.
First of all, get what you start trying was like 30 tracks.
Huh?
Oh, get rid of Die Trying was like 30 tracks. Stop playing with me.
Get Rich or Die Trying is forever. It's forever gonna be. But I'm telling you right now, T.I. got bangers, and when I bring them out on Tuesday, y'all gonna be like, damn, like he hit me with it. Like,
I think they took them away, bro. The only bangers he had, they took them away, bro. And then he did a show to not go to jail for him. That's the only bangers he had.
All right, we're gonna see.
Two. I'm lying. I'll give him 2 or 3. I'll give him 2 or 3 hard.
Tuesday, be there. 20 songs podcast. T.I. versus 50. That's why 50 was ducking my man this whole time.
I give T.I. 5. I give T.I. 5 tracks.
Nah. Watch.
Easy.
Watch. Rubber Band Man, 24. Bring them out, bro. Man, listen, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that.
That's all you got, though.
We ain't gonna do that, bro. Cause T.I. got hits, bro. But something a little serious, man. 20-year-old. His name is, I don't want to mess it up. Amani Kilden out of Morrison, New Jersey, was found hung in a tree. Authorities said that they suspect no foul play, and that is ruined a suicide. Now, this kid had already had plans of going to school at James Madison. He has no prior mental illness. So the fact that yet another black man hung from a tree and ruled a suicide again, and this time this guy have no mental issues. Do they really expect for us to just believe that these dudes just continually out here just hanging themselves? Now, it's also worth to note he was a anti-pedophile activist. So
They killing me next, bro. I keep hearing them outside too. I hear them. They trying to come for me next, bro. That's why you gotta stay strapped, bro. You gotta stay strapped. Gotta stay strapped.
I don't know. I don't really know what to say, man, because I just can't wrap my head around this many black people wanting to hang themselves in 2020. Like, it just
What's
now
crazy though, if you look into these people who are getting hung, bro, they be like people who speak out on shit too, low key. But they don't be like high tier people, just people in the community who be speaking out. And look into these names, bro, and you'll see that shit will blow your mind. Like, it's a
I
little
know
scary.
the young lady from Tallahassee, Toyin. She was an activist in the community. Wound up dead. It's always the people that got something to say, and I don't get it. Like, why do they think that we believe that all these people is hanging ourselves like that? I don't know. Like, did they just think like, yeah, they'll go for that? Like, they'll go for that one again. Another black man hang himself who had a bright future. This man was talking about going to James Madison. That's no dumb school, which means he had a good head on his shoulder. And he just mysteriously hang himself. I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I don't know how anybody would buy that. Come on, man. Bro, it be stuff like this. Like, I don't even be having no words because it's like over and over and over and over and over and over again. We just talked about on Friday, they ruled Robert Fuller's death a suicide, him hanging from a tree. And I don't know, man. What you think, bro? This wild, man.
I mean, I've had a loss of words, man. I kind of was like, and then again, this is from I live in Jersey,
I was about to say that's close to home there. I mean,
yeah, we've been hearing about it here too. But again, it's pretty much it was covered and swept under the rug, as a suicide, and it's just crazy because this is everywhere. I mean, we knew that with the protests being worldwide, but people like, yo, we going through this shit every day. But I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, all you can do is just be safe, and like he said, bro, like, yo, get your legal gun and stay in the house. Honestly, bro, you stay in the house, bro. Like, you know,
yeah,
I mean,
I just can't wrap my head around it, bro. This man is 20 years old. He he had a bright future ahead of him. There's nothing that would make me believe that this boy is gonna just go hang himself from a tree. Like, like I don't know how they come up with this stuff to make us think that these people would do this. I don't know how they come up with it. I don't know. It's wild. It's wild, and I don't get it, man. But back in my home state, Florida, DeSantis, the governor of Florida, he said schools will be opening back up in the fall. He also said that if Walmart and Home Depot are essential, so are schools. So all of us got kids up here on this set here. I'm gonna kick it to Dano first. If you were living in Florida or Washington, they starting school, are you sending your kids to school?
Hell no, bro. My kid's staying at the crib. We about to learn how to do some ABC, some 1, 2, 3, some everything. I don't know. We gonna learn together. Everything I don't know, we learn it together. But yeah, we we staying at home because that's my child's future. It ain't worth it because they
Then
actually have
he
children
said,
dying from this shit right now. That's why I say it because at first my mom was even saying like, man, don't worry about it. But she's a teacher and now she started saying, okay, keep the kids inside because it's a little more serious than we thought. So that scared me a little bit. So I keep my kids inside.
no,
I
what you
keep them.
think? You are you sending, are you on board with this? If Walmart and Home Depot is essential, so is schools. Like you are you buying this, man?
Nah, guess I'm gonna have to become a teacher. You know what I'm
in.
saying? Like real talk.
Like,
Real
we all
talk.
homeschooling over here.
You know what I'm saying? Clean sweep. You know what I'm saying? Like getting the
That's why
coat
I'm
with
kind
the
of glad I
ending.
hear in El Paso. They actually said they're gonna start online over here first. So before they reevaluate things in like September. So
What
that's
they
that's
could do, bro, if you know 5 people with kids, y'all trade every day of the week, just like school, and then you can still go to work and shit.
That's a great idea.
That would be if we get stuck in Corona. That's what some people should do. I'm just saying that might be an answer. I don't know though. I don't know.
it
I'm
could
trying
be
to
an
think.
answer.
Stuck in this shit, there might be. We have to have answers. So
I don't know. I don't really know what the answer is now with this corona. Yeah, yeah. My cousin here, she's such a freaking a germaphobe. Anyways, like she don't even like her kids like touching the ground. So I know she ain't trying to send them to no school. But I'm with you. I don't know really how I feel. And then for him to say, well, Walmart and Home Depot is essential, then so is school. But you don't go to Walmart for 8 hours. You don't go to Home Depot for 8 hours. You go get what you got to get and you leave out, and you're not necessarily in people's space. Now, how are you going to deal with classrooms when you're talking about a 6 feet perimeter, a 6 foot social distance? So how many kids is going to be in class? Where are all these kids going to be at? So are you really
Right.
prepared for that? And I don't
yeah,
think a lot
there's
of
no
people
way.
are
There's
prepared.
no way to keep kids safe. There's no way to keep kids safe. Honestly, in a school zone, kids ain't gonna be safe. And I hate to say it, it's just how it is. If one kid has a cold in the class, they really all get it quick. So I can
And
only
that's
imagine when someone like
What'd you
that's
say?
how
it,
that's the narrative. Like that's how it's always been. Like kids get sick at school. Like like
yeah,
that.
I got
Like that's just the thing. So it's like no, that should be the last thing. Like as a principal or what do they got? Like the
Oh,
district.
the superintendent.
Yeah, the superintendent. Like they should. Like, are you serious? But these are thousands. In literally some situations, public schools, these thousands of kids.
for
Like
real.
Yeah, and they not finna wear no mask. Like I take my son to the store and he can't wait to rip that thing off. They ain't trying to wear that thing all day. How like you said, Daniel. There's no possible way that they're gonna be able to keep all the kids safe. There's no way they're gonna be able to keep the kids and the staff safe. That's just especially when you're dealing with elementary school kids, which is what my kids are. There's a lot of hands on.
And then the
A
problem
lot
with that is then they go and they don't just stop with the kids because you can't tell at first. So they go to school and they catch it. Then they go to the crib and then they give it to their parents, to their sister, to their brother. Then it spreads to all them, and then they don't know. Then they spread it a little bit because in the first 3 days, imagine how many people you really come in contact with.
And then
So
in
it
Florida, they had the 1,500 cases of 15,000 plus
it
cases
was one
out
day.
there already in one day. So yeah, like you're talking about starting school, and it's like I don't know, man. I'm just glad my kids ain't in Florida right now, but I have family that's still down there in Florida. So the fact that they're gonna have to go to school, or they're gonna have to find something to do, that's tough, man. That's that's tough. That's tough to say this. I don't get you there. But one more topic before we do get up out of here. The Washington Redskins have decided to change their name. They was taking a lot of heat in recent weeks, and actually over the years, the past few years, they've been taking a lot of heat um, on their name and all of that other stuff. They have agreed to change the name. I'm gonna ask both of y'all this question. I don't care who take it first. Do y'all agree that they should have changed the name? Do you agree that that well, I know why they did it. They did it because they was losing sponsors. But do you agree that they should have changed it? Do you think that it was fine?
I believe personally. You want to take it first? All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I,
Go ahead. Nah, that's
I,
on you.
I personally believe if it was in a different place, it wouldn't be as big of a issue as it is as it being in Washington per se. And I don't think it's totally racist, but I think depending on where you are, it's obvious something shouldn't be that name. And I just feel I agree with them changing the name. It's gonna suck for merch, but I agree with it.
Can we not be called niggas first? Can we cuss on live streaming?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Talk your shit.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. But I mean, I'm not going to be insensitive and say it shouldn't be changed because this is something again, like you hinted on. This has been talked about for years, decades almost. But it's not just the Redskins, and like I said, Dano brought up a good point. It is because it is the Washington State, you know.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's going to change because it's like, yo, Nike hold a lot of weight, and that's just one sponsor. All of them dropped out, so
Yeah, they were dropping like flies.
you know what I'm saying. So they definitely going to change the name. What they're going to change the name to, I don't know. What direction they're going to go into, I don't know. I know it's probably going to be something silly because it's going to be rushed, but I mean, I'm gonna just expect the worst.
Yeah, it's I'm like you. I don't. Who am I to say they should change it? It's because like when somebody say like this is the argument that I do say. I mean that I do hate when they say, well, if somebody say it's offensive, then it's offensive. So are we just going to start labeling everything offensive? Not to say this is not offensive. Not to say the name Redskins isn't offensive. I'm just saying like when people use the excuse, oh well, they said it's offensive, so it's offensive, and it's like, well, people just say anything is offensive because that's the culture that we live in now. You can't say anything. Everybody trying to counsel you, just for speaking your opinion. So, but I do agree that this has been an issue, and when you start losing Nike and when you start losing three sponsors, and they start dropping out, and then everybody else start leaving, it's time to do something because at the end of the day, the only thing he's trying to protect is his bottom line. And as long as that bottom line is protected, I think that or as long as that bottom line was affected, I think that's when he realized I needed to do something because for the past years he's been saying, "Oh no, I'm not going to ever change it. This is our name. This is the name of our football team," and he's been adamant about we're not going to change it. But when you start losing that money, when that you start getting thin, them boys start cutting them funds. Now what you gonna do? And came out today right before the show. They will change the name in the next coming weeks. Name will be a name would be announced. So they no longer the Washington Redskins as of this moment. They have dropped Washington Redskins. So
The Washington question marks.
I know it's gonna be
But
something stupid. I already know it's gonna be something stupid because what can you actually say? Like anything that you're gonna say is gonna sound like juvenile. It's gonna sound like a high school team or something. Anything you put, like anything that you say from now on, it's gonna sound juvenile. So
but
uh,
I tell you what though, it's funny because people who don't think owners can get fired or at least relieve their duties. You know what I'm saying, or force them to retire. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they can force him to sell for sure.
That was the next move coming if he ain't make a move quick or at least drop some type of statement because he was quiet after a week after initially saying we're going to change the name. He got real quiet, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like some fire has definitely been lit under his butt. He was taken as a joke for a second.
I definitely agree. Dano, we finna get up out of here. I'm gonna let you say your piece before we get out of here. Nova, you can go ahead and take it out, and I'll go ahead and wrap us on up out of here. Since I know Dano don't know what cue the outro mean, I gotta now take over doing the outro as well.
I got something for you.
What you got before we get out of here, Dano?
Shit, all y'all, as always, stay woke, stay alive, stay living. Don't waste your time because you can't get the time back. Everybody persevere. Don't let anybody tell you how to think. Be your own person. And yata.
What you got before we get out of here?
I just want to let y'all know, man. Keep living the dream, man. Never stop. Never settle. And bet on yourself. You know, keep it going until next day. Until next time. I'm sorry.
For sure. All right. I'm Grand Hefe. Hey, make sure y'all continue to download the podcast, YouTube, Real Unpopular Opinion Podcast, also on Twitch, Real Unpopular Opinion Podcast as well. Instagram, Real Unpopular Opinion Podcast. Y'all already know the vibes. Grand Hefe, Dano the Don, Nova Freeman. We out of here, man. Appreciate all the love and support. Y'all keep doing y'all thing.
Y'all don't know
we appreciate everything. Everything.
Y'all don't know. I give y'all something y'all think is a fastball, and it's really a curveball. Y'all think I'm talking shit, but I'm talking real next. I don't know why they playing with me. I don't know. I ain't holding on for it. Got the muscle, but I can't forget the knowledge. I was trapping even when I was in college. Always holding on the pole, but I ain't no stripper. Always taking money, but them niggas ain't no tippers. No niggas from Detroit holding clips, shooting, but they ain't playing for the Clippers. No niggas that ain't magicians, but they'll leave your ass missing. My Tallahassee niggas leave you more than just dripping. My Arizona boys, high boys, yeah, I had to learn. All Tacoma niggas shooting niggas while that blunt burn. My Cali niggas going ham like they don't give a damn. My Texas fam got more runs than Uncle Sam.